Alright, timestamp. It is April 20th, 2026, it's right at 2:30 a.m. Um, feeling pretty good. Feel pretty good. Um, Doctor Who Roku is being incredibly and kind of wonderfully random. I went to bed with the War Games on, which is a really good, really, really long, I think it might have been like an entire season of Patrick Troughton, Second Doctor, and woke up to Curse of the Fenric, I think is the title. It's Sylvester McCoy, and um, full confession, I have yet to actually see that whole episode. Doctor Who had pretty much been pulled off the air here, at least where I was, because I was watching mostly on trying to remember if it was Channel 3 or Channel 16. Channel 3 here, this is like 80s, you know. Channel 3 was PBS, and Channel 16 was, and I say was because I don't know if the number channels still exist anymore. Lots changed. But 16 was WUSF. It was the USF TV station. And they played a lot of really good educational stuff, and they got in some like British imports and whatnot. But by that point, Doctor Who, I think it had gotten really expensive to license here in the States, and because your network, your NBC, your ABC, your CBS, they didn't usually spring for Doctor Who. If you're in a place where they did, bless. Um, where I was here in Tampa at the time, it was just your smaller PBS type stations that would foot the bill for it. We got Colin Baker. Actually, we got we got a little bit of Colin Baker. I don't even know that I saw the entire Colin Baker run. It was number 6. Number 7, Sylvester McCoy. I heard about him, and I saw stuff in like Starlog and some of the different like Doctor Who magazines that I'd get, but couldn't find the episodes. It was a different world. If you're younger, it was a different world. There was no streaming, there was no internet. If it was on TV, cool. If you were able to find like a bootleg VHS or something, cool. You know, sometimes that's how we managed to make it work. No DVDs yet, VHS. You know, cable TV was big. HBO, Cinemax, Showtime. Even that wasn't, you know, the 4,000 channels. You know, MTV, VH1, ESPN. You know, there were 40 or 50, maybe even 100, but not what we have now. But yeah, Curse of the Fenric. And apparently it's a really good episode. I've read some like non-spoilage reviews. It's supposed to be like really good. I keep catching pieces of it. I ran into the same problem with Ghostlight, which is also Sylvester McCoy, and Ace. And they have it, I think they have Fenric also, on Classic Doctor Who, I think, is the name of the YouTube channel. But they've got, like, full Doctor Who episodes, you know, which is cool. So at some point, that's about how I feel about that. At some point over the next week, I think I may actually plug that in and actually watch it. Because it's weird because I see it and I'm like, ooh, it's in the middle of it, I think. And I'm trying to avoid spoilage, you know, like dodging it a little bit. So I'm going to have to like watch it. Ghostlight was really cool. I really liked that one. I like McCoy. I mean, I think he's pretty cool. But yeah, we didn't really, at least where I am, and I've talked to people that were like in Chicago and some other places where even their small stations were willing to foot the bill. But here, no. No. Sadly, no. So I'm playing catch up with some of his stuff. But yeah, and I know that I go on about like Leela, the Face of Evil, Robots of Death. Some of those episodes you can actually catch on that YouTube channel. So if I've intrigued you or intrigued you at all, I love mispronouncing phonetically words. It's just fun. Phonetically. Usually makes smart people go, wait, what? It's just fun. You're so unique. It just amuses me. I don't know. Do I need help? Probably. But I would encourage, if at any point you've been like, yeah, I want to check that out, go to Classic Doctor Who, I think. I think that's the name of it. But they have the full, like, episode. Like, you can watch all 4 parts, all 6 parts, whatever it is. Actually, one of my kids, because I've talked about it, has gone there and has seen a couple of the ones that I was talking about. I was like, okay, that is actually pretty cool. You know, it's worth the check out. Beep. Check out. So today I'm going to be taking a shower because, yeah, it's time. It's time. I've got some chicken thighs I got to cut up. I measured the backdrops for my hutch, and I got my black foam board. So I'm going to be making walls. I need 3x12 for that little back strip, and then the side walls are 22 by 12 high. And I want to probably cut right on the line because it's like kind of snugly 12 inch and kind of snugly 22 and 3. So if there's that little micron of a gap, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because otherwise I may need to put some lard on the top and bottom to like, or that'll happen. Thank you, Zai. But I need to cut the walls. I'm going to need 4 of the back panels, because top and bottom, and then I'm going to need 8 of the others, because I've got, you know, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Having formation flashbacks. That's so weird. Cadence, man. It's all about cadence. But then I can decorate the walls, because it's just black foam board, you know. Doodle. Morning. Oh. I know. I love you too. I'm just showing them the walls, or what will be the walls. You can get these at Dollar Tree. Ready board. It's in the stationery department near the poster board, and it's just a foam board. They come in black or white typically. I know this. I've stocked it. Stationery was one of my departments for many years. And actually, full disclosure, I felt kind of stupid, really, because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the walls, because it's just, you know, wood. You know what I mean? Heck, I swear you don't actually have to stop and stretch in front of me. He'll walk in front of me to do yoga poses. You know that's called downward dog, right? You're not going to dignify that at all? Going to go eat kibble in protest. It's my cat. I love that cat. I woke up with him at my feet on the couch. There's usually about a foot and a half, 2 feet. I'm 5'7". The couch is actually kind of long. I woke up with him at my feet and an acorn on the carpet underneath the couch. I like that. It may sound stupid, but it's cool to wake up like that. With everything that has been going on over the past 3 years, waking up with a couple of your best friends nearby. It's nice. I still gotta correct everything because everything went kablooey when I moved them. But, you know, it's just wood grain, right? That can work for some stuff. You know, if I'm doing if I was doing some kind of like a Resident Evil Arclay Spencer Mansion kind of thing, having one of those as like a wood wall, that's not too crazy. I might want to put some wainscoting or something in. And I may do that too, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. See, talking to you, I get ideas. Do the 22s, but I'm going to have some leftover foam board. Maybe do some strips that are 22 inches but aren't the full 12 inches tall. But like have them... I probably want to do 2 different sizes too, to reflect the 4-inch figures or the 6-inch figures. Figuring like the Doctor Who and the Resident Evil figures are pretty much in that like 6-inch category, 5.5 inch. The wainscoting would be higher, you know what I mean? You know, that could be fun. Because I could do, you know, some kind of wallpapery looking thing with some kind of trim top, and then the wood above it, it would give it that look. Yeah. Not that I'm like, I need to keep the wood. I'm not getting rid of the wood, I'm just masking it. But that would be a way of actually utilizing what's already there. Because I can still replicate some kind of wood on the foam board. But if I did that in certain circumstances, I wouldn't need to. And it would puff out that bottom section with the trim, and then the wood would look recessed. That's one thing Mr. Wilson did rub off on me there. Theater teacher. Had a background in theater construction. Still around, has a background in theater construction. So our sets were banging. They were almost like they were professionally done, because they were professionally done, pretty much. Because he knew the hell what he was doing. I'm not nearly that good, but just some of his design ideas, and he was rather innovative with his set designs too. Credit where it's due. Yeah. But the intrigue and the enjoyment of designing sets, it's his fault. Damn it. And these are like mini sets, you know. I got like 4 mini sets to make. And doing the foam board, I can change them out. I'm hoping, and I think I can, I don't think it'll be that hard, that I can actually make them reversible. At least, the ones that don't have raised things on them. I can make them reversible, ones that are like, that I'm utilizing wallpaper or something on. Wallpaper, wrapping paper can work. If you've got a wrapping paper design, they make a lot of different paper prints that work just fine. I can do something flashy and neon, a flat color for like the background for my lounge, or something a more solid muted color, even. Whatever I want to do. But it'll be a non-wood wall. Should be pretty cool. But it's part of the whole do crafty things so that head doesn't explode, Making progress in here, though. Mostly worked on some of the pile in the kitchen, because it's all connected. It's all one gigantic sloppy slide puzzle. And I was listening to basically food health videos throughout the day yesterday. I really like Dr. William Li, L-I. And there's some AI slop of him running around. I'm not sure if it's stuff that he's done and has just posted to give extra clicks or views, or if it's people copying and emulating him. I'm not sure. But I went directly to his channel just to make sure. Talking about cancer fighting foods and things of that nature, As far as I know, I don't have cancer, but there are things, food, basically the concept of food as medicine. Because food does things to your body. Junk food isn't good for your body because we know what's in junk food and it does things just the same way as, broccoli is incredibly good for your body. But the idea of using food as medicine and kind of trying to steer your diet more towards longevity, disease prevention, healthy living, etc. And you can still eat very yummy food and also be healthy. You really can. And I'm trying to steer all of our diets that way. I mean, Pix is already on board with that. We're mostly doing a Mediterranean diet of sorts, which, look it up, Mediterranean diet's considered one of the healthiest diet lifestyles you can have. That's kind of where we're headed as a couple, family, We've, between the two of us and or my parents, had enough health scares to where, exactly, it's worth looking into, when you've got a diabetic mom with other health things who gets angry with you, true story, because we threw away, she had bags and bags of brownie brittle crumbs. She would eat the brownie brittle out of the bag, which, you're diabetic, heart issues, there's a list here, renal, kidney failure issues, eating brownie brittle. She got mad because we found like 20 bags of brownie brittle where it was just kind of the crumbs in the bottom, and she got very angry because we threw it out, because we're like, these bags are done, why are you saving these? And she said that she was mad because she liked to sprinkle that on her ice cream every night. I don't know which part you want to take apart first, or if you just want to let it ride the way it is. I'm just going to let it ride. We'll just go. Bowl of ice cream, brownie brittle, diabetic. We'll just let it go. So we got a real good education. We're smart people, but over the past 3 years, 2 years, what have you. She's been gone about a year now. We got, and I love ice cream. There's nothing wrong with ice cream in moderation and all that. I got some mint chocolate chip out there right now, which I might have a bowl later today or tomorrow. But I don't eat a bowl full every night with brownie brittle sprinkled on top and then complain about my blood sugar levels. Just seems kind of obvious-ish. But we have gotten a really good look at what food can do, positive and negative. So listening to that in the background while I'm doing stuff around here, occasionally coming over and jotting a note down. A lot of it is stuff that we've already included in our diets, but there were some little things here and there that I was like, ooh, I never thought of that, you know. It's true. But yeah, I need to cut some chicken, because I got those chicken thighs. I still have a whole bunch of the chicken patties that I made. I want to say there's like 6 or 10 in there. I'll probably have some yogurt for breakfast because, yeah, Greek yogurt, a little bit of the Ceylon cinnamon sprinkled on top. It's good breakfast. Probably have a chicken patty or something like that for lunch. Pix is supposed to be coming over today. We're going to be, I think, emptying the attic. Emptying, repacking the stuff that's in the attic. It is primarily Christmas decorations, but we're also still hunting for things that my dad has hidden, and that seems like a... I looked through it briefly when we first got here, Tiny and I, but I'm not 100% that I was thorough. But at that point, we also didn't know the extent of things that were missing. So I wasn't necessarily taking the search as seriously. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, there's pocket watches, there's paperwork, but there's a few other things that I'm not going to mention online that I know of that are missing, that are like family stuff, that it's like, okay, what did you do with this? Please tell me you didn't like throw it in the lake or bury it, because that's going to make it very hard to locate, you know. So gonna go through it with more scrutiny. Just pull it down and repack it. Go through all the boxes, because a lot of the boxes are kind of yeah, to where we could repack those in totes and banker boxes and make it a little less hairy. Yeah. But kind of that, I want another look at this now that I am understanding more the extent of what went horribly wrong here. And let's be clear, a lot of stuff went horribly wrong here over the 3 years that we weren't, or 2 years that we weren't, you know, active on the scene. Because again, Dad, you're doing a large face Bugs Bunny with some medium Starbucks breakfast blend. It's a good start. With my mom in the hospital most of the last 2 years of her life, she was in the hospital 14 or 16 months out of her last 24. That's what a bowl of ice cream with brownie brittle on it every night can do for you, as an example. So that's a lot of time with my dad here with no one watching what he's doing. A man in mid-stage heading into final stage or late stage dementia, who thinks there's a burglar coming every day to rob him. So he's hiding anything that's important or he deems valuable. Picking up what I'm putting down. So yeah, I want another look, because I'm not sure what's been done here. If I don't find anything cool, I can check it off the list knowing that I looked. You know, the things we're searching for, they're not there. They're not there. Yeah, no, that's the good stuff. My spare moments, I've been painting the library cart. That's the back of it. This is the bottom shelf and the middle shelf. And then the top shelf. Now for the inside of the shelves, I was debating on doing a blue, and I think I'm actually going to do a green. It's olive green, and it'll kind of be in the category similar to the shades on the lamps that I've got in the library. These are some of the Zuru mini brand lamps that come with the books. Big stretch. Which from a prop standpoint are actually really well built in my opinion. These are the ones that have those mini books that are actually like real books. Just tiny. Got one over here I can show you. I think, yeah. These are cool. I know I've shown these before, but it's a Huckleberry pen. I've got a couple of the bookmarks in there. I have not personally tried it, but you can see that there's print there. Apparently that is the book. Like if you sat here with a magnifying glass, which I don't personally have the patience to do that. I have a copy of this already, and I think it's actually very similar publishing style. I had a lot of classics on my shelf as a kid, and I still have most of them. It's a real book. But along with they come in like a little ball, like an egg almost, and it'll have a couple of books in it. And it comes with a prop, another thing. And one of the things they come with is this little desk lamp. You put it together, it comes in like 4 parts. And they're quite cool, in my opinion. So I've got a bunch of these in my library. That's also where this candlestick came from. This is one of the ones from the Zuru mini books brands, whatever. Zuru brands mini books. So I've got a bunch of these in my library. So I'm thinking, again, not trying to necessarily color match, but doing like a multiple green color scheme in my library won't necessarily be a bad thing. So I'm going to be doing this on the inside, basically as though someone had like a laminate sheet or something like that they placed on the inside. I'm going to try not to get the silver, the trim, just the flat. So we'll be using one of the fine brushes. I'm going to be able to basically swath huge amounts in the middle, and then when I start getting towards the outside edge, I'm going to use a smaller brush and really try and get in there and not go up on the wall. I think I can. I'm feeling good about it. And if I do have a little oops here and there, it'll be alright. Won't be that big a deal. I can either mask it, or if it's really, really making my eye twitch, I can come in with the silver and correct it or what have you. But yeah, I love these. I think they're great. Absolutely great. And scale-wise, they're pretty cool. They're a little big for the 4-inch. But not hideously. For the 6-inch, they're great. They're perfect, you know. Of course, I have toys on my desk. Like, hey, we were just talking about you. Scale-wise, it's great. It's perfect. Yes, he still has milk with the sad kitty on it. It about made my wife cry that day. I felt so bad. I thought it was funny, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that was a while ago. Okay, this is from, I think, Lost Kitties, I think is the name of it. They do little, it's a blind bag kind of thing, little cat figurines, various poses, different things. And this is some kind of a prop that went with them at some point. And it's a milk carton, and it has a missing cat. What do you say? Missing, have you seen Meow? And I showed that to her because I thought it was ridiculously funny, and she saw it and looked at it and went, it's like, uh-oh. That was not the desired intent there. Warning, pull up. Yeah, so I'm going to cut some foam board. Measure twice, cut once. Pix is coming over. I've got a sale to go out. I think she might have a sale to go out too, which is a good problem to have. Kind of a quiet weekend sale-wise, but sold something. I think I sold a video game. Have to look. Cut chicken, taking a shower, cut the foam board, and continuing on in my mission to get the dining room kitchen squared. And also a little bit of the garage. We'll be working in the attic. I'm very bored. I need something to do. Please, 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 someone help. No, really, help. Yeah. I'll probably drop by the store, pick up some foodstuffs. Recently tried kefir, Kefir. It's a fermented milk product. It's supposed to be really good for gut health and whatnot. I had my first glass of it yesterday with my yogurt. Wow, I like it. Really, really good. Picked it up at Aldi. It's they've got different flavors. There's like, plain, and other. I think it was like a vanilla coconut or something like that. It's like almost yogurt flavor kind of trend. I picked up a blueberry, and full disclosure, it's been in my fridge for a week because I keep looking at it. And I've seen some people that talk about food health, and they're like, it's a really odd taste, so you may not like it. So I keep looking at it, and I'm like, at some point, instead of letting you go bad, I should probably, at least try it. The first taste was kind of odd. It wasn't. It's hard to know what to expect, when you're going off a description from like 2 other people as far as what it tastes like. You know what I mean? How do you describe? It's like describing a color to a blind man. How do you? It's light blue. Great. What's blue? I am in darkness. I don't have any way to relate with you. But yeah, the first taste was a little kind of like, whoa, this is weird. And then as I kind of let my mouth think about it, I went, I like this. This is really good. So yeah, that's going to be like a normal part of my breakfast, I think. A lot of health benefits to it. A lot of health benefits to it. Looking up, again, I've heard it pronounced kefir and I've heard it pronounced kefir. And I heard somebody pronounce it kefir, which made me have Lethal Weapon 2 flashbacks. So I don't know if that's necessarily a word that I want to mispronounce that way. If that's, I don't know if it's accurate or not. It's an unnice South African term, put it that way. But Kefir. And I got this at Aldi. I'll show you what the bottle looks like. And it was in the critter stamped out beneath me. Hi, Jinx. Yes, I know, you can move the water bowl around the room. I wish you would stop doing that. And I know the camera flips everything, but it's Friendly Farms. It's the Aldi brand. I'm not being paid. I'm not endorsed to do any of this, by the way. Probiotic, kefir, blueberry. Naturally flavored with other natural flavors. Cultured low-fat milk. But the probiotic thing is the part that you're looking for, because it does amazing things in your belly. So that with a bowl of yogurt, I'm just sending all kinds of great gut health stuff on deck, ready to report for duty, as it were. So, because I know I'm not going to live to be 150. Yeah, unless the aliens drop by and share with us some secrets, or the entire pharmaceutical industry becomes uncorrupted and they release information and or medications and things they've been concealing for a long time that actually would help us live longer. Which, it's hard to say. Is there money in it? You know, current status anyway. Not a conspiracy theorist, but most of them are about the money, not necessarily about the people anymore. Keep it real. That's why Luigi did what Luigi did. I know that was insurance, but they're related. You know, they're partners in crime. Insurance and the pharmaceutical industry. They're siblings in the same family. So, utilizing food as medicine that's also quite yummy. Again, I was really surprised. I was like, ooh, I actually like this. I was really expecting to be like, spit it out on Acorn. See, he's always under my stool. But yeah, yeah. Good for me and yummy. Sure, let's do it, you know. So, I'm going to get started on my day and work on my one brick, which is probably going to be 3. So I'm feeling pretty motivated, which is good. It's been a rough haul. So anyway, you know the spiel, unless you're new. Hug your parents. Hug your kids. Get to work. Make your work fun, though, if you can. And make it a great day.